Every second of your life you are under attack. Bacteria, viruses, spores, and more living stuff wants to enter your body and use its resources for itself. To prevent this, you have an army of cells that fights like a T-Rex on speed and sacrifices itself for your survival. Without it, you would die in no time. This sounds simple, but the reality is complex, beautiful, and just awesome. A short animation of the immune system. The immune system is extremely complex and cannot be covered properly in just one short. So we made two animations, one with a bacteria infection and one with a virus infection. And here is the first part with a bacteria infection. In the beginning, there is peace. White blood cells patrol the body and keep everything in check. Suddenly, some bacteria from outside of the body manage to breach the barriers and sneak into the tissue. Some white blood cells notice the bacteria. One of them is a macrophage that engulfs and destroys the bacteria. The bacteria are now gone, and peace returns. But the danger has alerted the lymphatic system. Lymph nodes are small roundish organs that are scattered over the body. They are the headquarters of the adaptive immune system. Within these lymph nodes are specialized T cells and B cells that identify specific pathogens by their shape. The lymphatic system then sends out a patrol to find the bacteria in the bloodstream. Meanwhile, the bacteria have been multiplying and causing an infection. If left untreated, the infection will spread and get worse until every organ is affected. Then the body would die and the bacteria could multiply freely. In our case, the patrol finds the bacteria in the bloodstream and captures one to bring back to the lymph node headquarters. The major histocompatibility complex, or MHC, presents the captured bacteria to the T cells to identify it. Helper T cells receive the information and activate killer T cells and B cells. Killer T cells chase down and destroy infected cells, while B cells start to produce antibodies. Antibodies are like guided missiles that seek out and stick to the bacteria, making them easier targets for the other immune cells. The immune system is so efficient that it can tag every single bacteria with an antibody before they even have the chance to cause damage. Macrophages and neutrophils gobble up the bacteria. Eosinophils release chemicals that punch holes in the bacterial cell walls, allowing water to flow in and destroy them. Other chemicals released by the immune cells attract more white blood cells to the site of infection to help with the attack. But the bacteria still have a few tricks left. Some of them manage to hide inside healthy cells and avoid being tagged by antibodies. Others started to multiply too quickly for the immune system to keep up with. Still, the immune system is relentless. Dendritic cells capture the hidden bacteria and bring it back to the lymph nodes to activate more T cells and B cells. Memory T cells remember the bacteria for future encounters, while plasma cells pump out tons of antibodies to destroy the bacteria. Macrophages continue to engulf the bacteria and dead cells, while neutrophils release their own chemicals to recruit more immune cells. Soon all of the bacteria are destroyed and the infection is cleared. The immune system has won. Now the healing can begin. The damaged tissue must be repaired. Macrophages engulf the dead cells and debris, releasing chemicals that attract fibroblasts to the site. Fibroblasts make collagen, which is the main component of the connective tissue. When the infection is over, most of the immune cells are no longer needed. They undergo apoptosis or programmed cell death. The remaining cells return to their normal state and the body is once again at peace. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It helps us a lot. Thanks and see you next time. Here is the second part with a virus infection. Just like with bacteria, viruses want to enter your body and infect you. These viruses are much smaller than bacteria and can only be seen with an electron microscope. Viruses consist of genetic material surrounded by a coat of protein. Some viruses also have an envelope around the protein coat. As you inhale, some viruses manage to enter your upper respiratory tract. They are tiny and very sneaky. They can bypass the immune system if you do not recognize them in time. Macrophages and dendritic cells patrol the area and search for unwanted guests. Once they spot the virus, they engulf it and bring it back to the lymph nodes to activate the T cells. Meanwhile, the virus is traveling through the air passages and infecting more and more cells. As the virus spreads, it starts to multiply within the cells. This multiplication takes over the cell and redirects it to produce more virus particles. Soon the cell is full of new viruses, and the cell bursts open. The newly created viruses infect neighboring cells, and the cycle begins anew. Back at the lymph nodes, the virus particles presented to the T cells are identified as foreign. Helper T cells receive the information and activate killer T cells and B cells. While this is happening, the virus continues to multiply and spread throughout the body. The virus particles infect more cells and cause more damage. The symptoms start to appear as the virus particles are transported through the bloodstream to infect more cells. Meanwhile, the B cells differentiate into plasma cells that secrete antibodies against the virus. These antibodies travel to where the virus is replicating and try to neutralize it. Unfortunately, the virus is tricky and has mutated multiple times. This makes it difficult for the antibodies to find a suitable target. The virus is mutating so fast that it seems almost impossible to stop. Dendritic cells capture the virus particles and bring them back to the lymph nodes to activate more T cells and B cells. Memory T cells remember the virus for future encounters. Plasma cells continue to produce antibodies to fight the virus. More and more macrophages and T cells arrive at the site of infection to engulf virus particles and infected cells. As the immune system improves its identification of the virus, the symptoms start to subside. The virus is still present, but the immune system is now one step ahead of it. The virus continues to replicate and spread throughout the body. But now most of the virus particles are neutralized by antibodies before they can infect a new cell. Macrophages and killer T cells destroy the virus-infected cells. The virus is being slowly contained. Within a few days, the majority of the virus particles are destroyed, and the rest of them are suppressed by the memory B and T cells. The symptoms disappear and you feel better. The virus is still present in trace amounts, but the immune system is prepared to act quickly if the virus tries to make a comeback. And that's it for now. See you next time.